I've switched from bearish to bullish in the short term for Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the 8-hour chart because yesterday we were talking about how because we broke this wedge bearishly, the breakout target was 64 to 62.3K. However, we got a surprisingly good jobs data report yesterday that has changed things. Now, some of you might be confused by that because for a while now, we have wanted to get bad jobs reports because that would improve the odds of us getting rate cuts. But yeah, this scenario always changes in terms of what kind of good news or bad news you want to drive the market higher. In this case, we wanted good news because the Fed was in a position where it wasn't going to be able to do anything. And we were in the worst position possible for the market moving forward, which was really shitty jobs reports for about 2 weeks and an inflation report that was really bad. This is a position where the Fed can't do anything and the market's super uncertain. Everything falls. But because the jobs report provided some relief, that got the Fed out of their stuck between a rock and a hard place kind of scenario, which is why the market is going up. That is why I expect the market to continue higher unless it gets knocked down a peg or two on the Friday CPI inflation data release. But in the meantime, things are looking pretty good here with a significant higher low. The confirmation of this, though, would be if Bitcoin can get above this area of resistance. That's the conjunction of these two lines and the 12 exponential moving average on the 8-hour chart. I would also like to point out that we have several fair value gaps higher up represented by these empty candles. These represent areas where price moved at very low volume, and just like with a gap, future price action tends to want to fill these. You just don't know when. And we still have that gap here at $81,000 to as high up as the close as about $84,000. And when we look at our liquidation heat map for Bitcoin over here on Binance, there is clearly more paydays for Binance and their market makers if price gets driven higher. Also, just to quickly talk about the elf shoe pattern again. So the heel of the shoe, a very high, silly, top of the shoe of like a silly, ridiculous elf shoe, right? It's not exactly perfect, but I think you might be able to see it. But also we want that long signal on the Moxie indicator. On the 4-hour chart here, we're getting pretty damn close to getting that long signal, and we're really close to getting it on the 1-hour time frame. Also, at the same time, we are starting to see the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, continue to gain more momentum here, showing a potential for more momentum to the upside. Which, when you come to the 1-hour chart, becomes even more obvious that you have higher lows on the RSI, and that Moxie indicator is getting very close to a long. That is the update for the day. Hope you have a good day, do good things, be good people, make a bunch of money.